This is Talking Chiefs by SoccerBeat. This is a fortunate position to be in. Us as the fans, we speak on social media at SoccerBeat. Hit that subscribe button to get notified because in Petele, championship DNA, Mr. Left and Right. And they're sitting left and right to me now as well. Siboniso Gaxa joins us, Chiefs legend. He was on the opposite side, Tsepo, in that championship team. Tsepo was on the left, Gaxa was on the right. Izinto zasiqala kuni madoda. If you fix that side and then the middle, and then there's a trust that gets developed in that back four. I think we are here for a reason because Chiefs is leaking goals, whose fault is it? First of all, and Ogani, where do you see it when Aguti? They must fix first before getting to anywhere.
Okay, no, but thanks for having me. The question whose fault it is, or whose fault, it's a difficult one to even try and answer. You're not there every day, so you wouldn't tell what really happens within the team. But yes, you're right. The defense is a bit struggling. They concede goals, and as you mentioned earlier, the mere fact that they keep rotating keepers and all of them they concede goals. So that itself is just a sign of the better way to that they're just not yet there. The coach is not too sure who to play with, and sometimes it changes people personnel within the back so that maybe find the right balance. But listen, man, these things do happen. They do happen, and also if you get it right, and then it's you're good to go. But it takes time to get it right. I don't think they have bad keepers or bad defense. I just think they have not gelled together. Individually, yes, they're good players. Because you can name them. One comes from Arrows, the right back. It's either the colored boy Fulon. They come from or Ulo, the one that just came back from the US. And then the centre backs are quite solid. The centre backs are quite solid, but they have not. One is a Bafana centre back, and he's done extremely well. So it's just that once that back four is able to defend, not to concede, they score goals. The only problem is that they also concede. So if they minimize conceding goals, then they'll be able to win matches. You don't win championship if you concede so many goals. And that's the fact. But, it's only Real Madrid. It's only Real Madrid that they can concede, but they will also score. So that's the only team that win Champions League by conceding. I don't know. Each and every game they concede, but they also.
So what they have to fix. What is that Rushvin Dotley is a new signing, supposed to make the team better. Miguel is a new signing, supposed to make the team better. Fikru's is a new signing, supposed to make the team better. Isn't it a big worry for Ninwa? Tiko, but consider. We're still conceding.
No, definitely, it's a big worry, and when you watch them and the way they concede, you think these guys, maybe Coach Ujo, 1 week before he didn't have a proper preseason, because preseason is there to work on things. You work on the shape, your defensive roles, individual, as a pair, as a group, the whole back four. So sure. they had ample of time to get things right. And my Waraguti, the way they concede is like, no man, the coach just joined 1 week before the league started, because they had a proper preseason. Late, even the league, late than usual, so it's scary. Guti, when are they gonna get it right? Because at this rate, I said it before, at this rate, they'll be fighting for top 8 again. And I'm sorry to say that, but at this rate, it's scary. It's worrying. It's worrying for the fans as well. Yes.
But it's good because these guys are playing for a reason. They were signed for a reason to come to the team and make it better. To fix the problems that these guys who are on the bench couldn't do. Like,
I mean, we as human beings, we always hope for better things, and we always hope to move to the next level, to better our condition, to better our, I mean, football structures, or
sure.
you know, the defense. They have to work on these things and get it right. As Tsepo has said, it's worrying the fact that they had an opportunity to deal with these things during pre-season, but I'm sure they did. Unfortunately, it's not mathematics where 1 + 1 then it's going to be 2. It's a
Sure.
competitive sport. You're playing with
Yeah.
people who also a system to beat your defense. However, they still need to adapt and make sure that they don't concede. They rather maybe score 1 but don't concede. You score 2 and then the other team score 3. There is a worry. I'm more worried about. I'm still looking for a holding midfielder that will protect the two centre backs. I think they're still struggling to get that person that can
Or at least
literally,
exposing these guys, you think?
because they need that protection based on the fact that they conceded so many goals. You need someone that can then protect them. At the moment, they don't have, and I don't think they're playing as a unit. That's why Tsepo said the goal that they concede, it's like they met yesterday. You know, it's not like they were coached. Therefore, so there's that imbalances within the team, the left and the right and the center backs. But I'm sure, man, you know, I think they are better than the previous season. I think there is a progress. If you look at the previous season and this current season, I think they've matured, but they're not
Okay.
where they're supposed to be. Therefore, sometimes give them time to then continuously progressing towards the chief that people want to see. You know, but they have to get it right. You know, it
Yeah.
can't be still trying to get things right. They've got a good coach who has done exceptionally well where he comes from.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they will get it right at some point, but they need to get it right. You know, Chiefs fans, they don't want to wait that long. We know that. We were there. We were there.
Yeah.
You lose one game, the most useless player.
Hey,
So,
I
mm,
can pick up those vibes from Tsepo already. Tsepo yamva for ukuthi suka befumene pre-season lo mntu for kunini sithethe uba it needs time. Yes, time. Tsepo is almost there now. Or kanjani Tsepo?
Yeah, it's tough also, the coach is new and he brought his whole like team, technical team, of which is new guys that haven't worked in our league. Maybe they still, maybe by saying, also the coach needs time to adapt to our league, because it's not I wouldn't say Ebola ihlukile, but our league it's something
Yeah, yeah,
else. A lot of positional changes. Position changes hands quickly in South Africa. You're
yeah.
attacking, you lose the ball. You're attacking. Sometimes it's just it's an up and down tennis type of vibe game. So maybe the Nabi and his team they need time, to adapt and adjust to our game. But I hear you, but the question is Kaizer Chiefs like for do we give them 2 years? Do we give them this season? What do you say? Do we give him okay? I think the season let's see for one. How do we?
I mean, listen. We shouldn't even say we want to give them. You know, I think they've got players that have been tested. You know, when we joined Chiefs, we didn't. No one gave us any time. We already
No,
tested.
there was no time.
So we were tested, so we had to just move
We,
move on with the
yeah,
game.
we have to deliver. Like basically, we have to deliver.
Us to deliver. They didn't want us to adjust. So
Sure.
obviously, teams like Chiefs sometimes they don't want you to have these excuses. You still settling down. You still want the players to get together, and unfortunately, with this current team, you know, and they need to reinforce. I think they still need the holding central midfield that can dictate, can also protect. Because
Yeah.
for me, I think there's a gap there. I believe that the other players that they play them there, I don't think they are like defensive mindset players because they tend to move around. You know, they don't stick to the position. Therefore, then the two centre backs are way exposed. You know, and also I don't know if there's a language barrier within the centre backs or what, because
You know,
sometimes there are things
hold
that
that
you
thought,
watch
yeah.
like.
Hold that thought, Bob, because that's exactly where I wanted to go now. Exactly where I want to go. Yeah, almost. Yeah, but so funny. So let me go to an ad break and come back because I need to go there because there is a question I've got about the culture and identity and that we need to, to find out about. We've spoken about what's going on the pitch, but the other elements that make up that energy that leads you to championships.
The Carling Black Label Cup is here to put the power back in your hands. Fagugesi at the Carling Cup on 21 December at Orlando Stadium. Buy a Carling Black Label and vote for your Carling All-Stars. T's and C's apply. South Africa, be sharp. Not for persons under the age of 18.
Welcome back. Talking Chiefs by SoccerBeat with two pillars of a championship winning team. The two pillars, because the pillars are on the sides, most they hold things together. They're side by side. Gaxa and Tsepo Masilela. Gents, we can overanalyze, what's going on the pitch, who could have done this, who could have done that better, Sometimes it's also what happens off the pitch, that just regenerates an energy that makes you believe in something, I've heard of coaches who post things, quotes and such things, to motivate. But at the moment, we're not getting that energy, that there's a oneness in what they are doing at Chiefs. There's a plan for marketing that's a little bit disconnected to what they are doing on the pitch. There's no real connection. You spoke about a communication barrier, maybe in the back four. Is there an identity that you pick up where you say the Chiefs block looks like this, Donapa? In what you've been watching.
This is my opinion. I'm not saying this is a factual thing. It's an opinion. I sometimes watch them and realize that there's no coherence within a certain movement and stuff. I watch the guy, the left back, that comes from Arrows. Sometimes when he overlaps and then the ball is played on his position, sometimes no one covers for him. So that's what I'm talking about when they say the coherence within the players themselves to understand that certain movements or a certain player when he moves, then the other three obviously automatically they have to make a certain movement to then compensate a certain position or space. So there is that element. I'm not a qualified coach, but I've played football. These are the things that you are taught and the things that coaches emphasize sometimes. When the left back moves forward, obviously the left centre backs will have to shift to the left, and then the centre midfielder, it's either he covers or the other centre backs on the right, he moves slightly in on the left hand side, then the right back tucks in. Then you give some balance within the left hand side. So sometimes these are the things when you're watching, you're like, these are the things that are lacking sometimes. Players get exposed whenever they move forward, no one covers, no one. That's why I said to you, you just need a centre back that will then allow one centre back to move on the right, on the left to cover for the right back or the left back. Then he tucks it because he becomes then a centre back. So these are the things that sometimes I'm like, you don't see them more often, because sometimes this thing is trust. You don't communicate, it's just trust. You just trust your centre back, your right back trust the right hand side, the right back, the right centre back. It's just trust. You just trust that if I go, when I had Matoa, I knew the guy will cover for me. So we develop trust. So sometimes when I watch Chiefs, I'm like, they still lack the trust within the players themselves, and leadership is very important, which I think they don't have. No one shouted at anyone. They conceded a goal. They just look down. It's like, we just considered another one. No one goes and say, hey, wake up. No one says anything. It's like, we just considered a goal. Let's move on.
Sure.
It's part of the game. So leadership is important as well.
Hey, but you're mentioning a big thing up, yes, because somebody my follow up was that somebody's got to switch on that button, Tsepo. Somebody's got to switch on that button. Yeah, whether you're gonna sign that person or you're gonna find them, you have to find that person, and he has to come now. Who in this team has those capabilities? I'm not saying playing wise. I'm saying to say something, something different to what the coach is saying.
No, when you look at this team and the centre back Miguel looks like he's the only one maybe, but obviously it's his first season in the PSL, and the rest of the guys you have a couple of youngsters here and there, and Mark, he doesn't look like that vocal like leader also, shouted guys and
He's a
push
playing
them.
leader.
Yeah, he's more like a playing leader, and that's also a worrying factor with in the field, and you don't need one leader, you need a couple of leaders because that sometimes when Chiefs are down, the leaders, they are the ones that like pushes the boys like, come on boys, we can do it, so and it's tough to see that in this Kaizer Chiefs team. And again, we're not saying our team was special or we were much better than these boys. It's not a case of us against, comparing against them. We're just sharing our opinions. They must understand that we're not trying to bash them, we
Yeah.
or which is so but coming to a point of conceding and how they concede. I think it also, in my opinion, it touches on the coaching point. You can always tweak a system, and with us, Coach Stewart used to say we need to box cleverly. There's games where we knew, okay, today this is how we're gonna box, So
Yeah.
when you look at their midfield, they're not that strong. Like they don't have that holding. And then you ask yourself, when it comes to coaching, can they play two holding midfielders that you tell them, okay, hold the position, boys, stay, protect the center back, because the goals they have, we can see them. They score goals. But so maybe as the coach gets to understand our league better, he can tweak or adjust here and there.
Okay. I'm gonna go to a break. I understand there is a coaching element, but then outside you need to get the band together, and drum together now. Yeah, well, there won't be any preseason anymore to go to Turkey and camp. Yeah, but there's that they can do, man. To at least get out of this funk. Let's go to an ad break.
Hey, Taola.
All right, here we go.
Ko Betway ba tshepela hore o tshwantse o betjhe ka tsela e nepahetseng.
Ka nako e nngwe ho tlamehile hore o ikhule hanyane.
Ka nako tse ding
O ska leka go busha tse di lahlegileng.
Nakusasa kuse olunye usuku.
Dlala ngokusemandleni wakho.
Ge o tlhoka thuso go gona.
hopola, bet responsibly.
Woza. Yeah, at least you declared, Tsepo, that there's no bashing being done. It's just certain elements that are being shared of how it happened for you guys. How it clicked, how you guys got over the line. And there's certain elements missing that are actually consistent with many championship-winning teams. There's a certain one way of doing things that just relates to people that win. And you're looking for that in the team and you can't find it. Cohesion, is it maybe a cultural thing really, Kepa, that's missing in the team? The Chiefs, I mean, you guys had Rise, what was it? Rise course, there was no championships before, now you guys come and, you have Gerald welcoming you, doctor saying, hey, Machita, kubi man, Nisano to take us, and sending that message, in Telipal and the fans, I hear in the comments, they are crying for that element to be added in the team. The former player, presence or legend or legendary, you know, some connection for a culture, you know, even if maybe the team is not winning, but there's a culture. You understand? Are you picking that up? Elements of building towards that, you know, that mentality in this team, Pa?
Listen, if you have a culture you're not winning, what's the point? So the two must go hand in hand. There must be a culture, and then you must win. Then we can then praise the culture. Without victory, culture is useless. And culture sometimes is built through once the team starts winning, then the culture develops. Sometimes it's just work the other way around. You first have to win, and then the culture will develop. You know what I mean? You can have the culture but no winning. But chances are when there's a culture, there is a chances of you guys then be able, when you go to a match, you know exactly what you want. You know, I think we were fortunate enough, us, that when we got to Chiefs, we knew what has happened the past couple of years, and we understood what is it that when they wanted us to join the club. And most of us, we were leaders where we came from. Morgan Gold was the captain of Tsepo Masilela at the time. I was playing in Spain. I was overseas. It just came back. And a group of players that just joined in that year. And we knew that this team, then it means something. It's creating a new vibe. And we're willing to buy in also. But Tsepo is explaining what we are not trying to compare the two. All we are trying to, we just want to speak about what transpired within us and what is it that we think it's not, you know, it's not coming to the man. It's not there. But there was a point when I was very worried when Chiefs we will lose a match and players are okay with it. And I was like, sometimes you gotta see this even in the pitch. There's one or two, and these are youngsters, funny enough. The one that you can see the disappointment. They're not saying anything. Just looking at them, you can see this guy is extremely disappointed. He feels the loss, you know. So these players, when they buy them, they're exceptionally well, especially the one that comes from in South Africa. They are the best wherever they come from. They just need to believe, because Chiefs sometimes can make you destroy you because of the pressure that the clubs, you know what I mean, of the results or what people expect from you. So those expectations sometimes they come with a lot of burden. So some players are not able to really. So maybe this is where maybe psychologists or I don't know, that can just make these people understand that when you play for a team like this, you're expected to do 1, 2, 3, 4. But for you to do 1, 2, 3, 4, you still need to be free. You know, you still need to be more, because we saw something from you. That's why we brought you here. But it's not easy, especially to get into a team that is not winning. If you have taken these players and they join maybe Pirates or Chiefs, Pirates or Sunderland, because they are winning, then players are able just to gel. So you get into a team that has a lot of demands. And so I think also sometimes we can't be too harsh, but we must also be very aware of the fact that, Chiefs demand. It's a well-supported team in the country. So people demand results, demand. It's no longer about, we can give you another 2 months or 3 months. We now want the result. But these are youngsters, man. The majority of them, the youngsters, some they come from the development. So it's difficult to just win when you come from a development and you get into this first team that is not winning.
It's not winning,
it's hard for younger players. They've never been in a situation like that at that magnitude where the demand is extremely so. It's also hard for them. Chief players are not easy. Chief players on social media, those people are not easy, Maka. No, they're not easy. Even at my age, when I joined Chiefs, yes, insults left, right, and center. But I knew what I was getting into. I knew what I was getting into.
You knew.
I knew what I was getting into. So that's Chiefs for you, man. But they will come. I think the team, it will come. They have to get it right. No, they have to get it right.
Yeah.
They have to get it right. As hard as it is, but they have to get it right.
Tsepana, EPK, I mean, we can continue. I mean, you've said already you are sort of adjusting your mind on the top four, but you are still there, that the team has got it to go all the way to top four. What targets are we setting now to motivate the team? Shall we Pirates for February, Soweto Derby, at least an imaginary title there, you know, another exhibition title, you know? Okanye, what targets are we setting now?
No, we still have.
But they're saying Chiefs are winning wooden cups, you know. So at least let's put a title on the Soweto Derby again, because it doesn't look like Championship and Nedbank Cup is a reality at the moment. Or not that.
Wow.
No, it's you know, once they can sort out their, obviously they are defending and conceding of goals. I
Yeah,
don't I don't think they'll be far off, you know, the top four.
sure.
Once they can sort that one out, and again, you still have the Nedbank, man. You know, cup games are somehow. Yeah, but if Magezi can come and Fagu Gezi on in their first season, you'll never know. It might happen they go on a good run in the Nedbank Cup and they go all the way. You know, when it comes to cup competition, you always have hope, man. You know,
Yeah.
so sometimes they are well and the penalties 1-0,
Mm,
final now. You know,
mm.
I don't think they must drop their heads and think, we can't win Nedbank. You know,
Yeah.
it's a cup competition. It's there. You know, they have to give it their all. And yeah, and as Pa said, they not like I would about disaster. We need to press panic buttons. They just have to sort out small things here and there. They are concerned. Imagine if maybe three of their games they kept a clean sheet. We'll be talking a different story today.
Different
They'll
thing,
be
yeah.
easily sitting there with top four. You know, just that 3 games, 9 points, it moves them up there, top four space. You understand? So, you know, hopefully they will get it right and you know, and they will continue scoring goals. Sometimes you get the defense right, you stop scoring. Ish, this football gives you the stress. It will kill you real good.
and chasing that first title can be motivating, you know. It can really change. I mean, Vilagazi being motivated, and these young guys, you're saying, yeah, they're going through a slump and it's hard for them to understand what's going on, but maybe you know, the motivation of winning that title, that first title, you know, maybe that might be the one that really switches it on for the boys. Share with them the journey towards that first title, you know, how maybe they can also find it within themselves.
No, the first thing that we must also appreciate is that these guys are good men. You know, I sometimes watch them. I watch the energy. I watch the winning mentality, and I'm like, "Ish, I so wish there were 7 of them. You know, if there were 7 of them, then the team will win games
Yeah.
because they've got their passion. You know, they're still playing with that passion. They're still, you know, running everywhere. They're energetic, and I'm like, yeah, no, they're at the right age to do these things, and they just need a coach that can then now try and systematically, you know, direct them where to run, where to go, how many touches you need to play when. But they're incredible to watch. It is unfortunate that they create goals, they score goals, and then they concede goals. So obviously that it's a discouragement itself, you know.
Yeah.
But I think what can maybe motivate them is to say, no, maybe I want to be in the AFCON in next year, December. You know, these are the things that sometimes like, I want to be part of the national team, so therefore I must make sure the team wins. If the team wins, chances of me being in the national team are high, you know. But winning trophies is always great, but it's not about 2 players or 3 players. It's the whole team. It's the whole team. So the team must get together so that these guys can display and show their talent and show the passion of the game and the love of the club, because I think they love Chiefs. You know, they come from the development. You can see when they play that they play with their all with their hearts out. They just want to
Yeah.
win
Yeah.
games, and I think when the team is doing well, then you're gonna see how good they are. I think
Yeah.
when the team starts winning, this is when you're going to realize actually these guys are good. It's just that we couldn't see it because the team wasn't winning games.
Wasn't winning.
Sometimes
Yeah.
there and there, but it's not enough because we are more focusing on the negative than the positive. So, I mean, they must just keep going, man. They've got a long way to go. They still have a long way in their careers. So they must just try. They're playing for one of the biggest teams in the country. Therefore, that's the biggest opportunity you can get. We joined the club when we were what? I was 28, and
You were cooked already. You were cooked already.
You know what I mean? So they can be the legend of the club. You know, they can be the biggest players that can be mentioned years later within the club, the Chiefs. So they must just keep going, man. They're good. They're good to watch. They're good. They play with their hearts out. All it needs, it's just if they don't concede these guys, you will be able to see how good they are. Mufukeng, the reason why we see Mufukeng, because Parrot is winning.
Yeah.
And he's consistent, he's creating goals, he's scoring goals. Same as Chiefs, these guys, they create, they score, but because they are not winning, then we are not able to see the talent. We are not able to see the influence within the games. So they are not far off from the other young players. Sundowns, we've just seen a few young players, unbelievable. And because the team is winning, these players are able to express themselves.
Freely, without the pressure.
No, just to sum it up, when the more you win, the confidence goes high, and when the confidence is high, you start to enjoy, man. You carefree, like you're playing football, like you're enjoying football, because also the results are there. So once they get the results, the confidence will come back, and they'll start to enjoy more. Enjoy the game.
Hi, ningamakrut man matota, so ni valile nje kamnandi. I'm sure after hammering the boys, hammering throughout the show, at least you at least you packaged it nicely. At least to go to I know, boys. You put the arm around. You put the arm around the players after hammering. Thank you very much, Pa, man, for joining us. We appreciate your time. We can't wait to see more of you. In future shows. And hopefully you'll be talking about a winning team.
Of course. Hopefully there's going to be more invitations, and then, I mean, like I said, yeah, I have time now, so I'm a call away. But thanks for having me, guys.
The fans must send questions. Get Tsepo. We need questions for Pa to bring Pa back. All your questions, start sending them at SoccerBeat today. We'll check them out on social media. And yeah, my guys, we're gonna limit the questions to 10 questions. Upa is coming back to answer for you guys. Thank you very much, Pa. Thank you, Tsepo.
Thank you.
Osa. SoccerBeat, osa.